Now we're live. Hello. And that just took forever.
That was a big
Yeah.
big delay.
So we got a big delay, people. It even hitting the button, I was like, oh my God, is it ever going to take? I got the little circle of death. Like, is it ever going to take?
Hi,
so big delay.
Hi, Kaz. Hi, Geneva. Hello.
How is everyone doing? Are you guys getting ready for the holidays? Are you got all your stuff done? No. I just this weekend, I put the video up the next day after I just got my tree. I just put out my stuff. I just took down my Halloween decorations. I let it last a little longer. So yeah, I'm behind the times.
I think I have everything for the one game that we play at the Christmas party. I'm going to go out Friday night and get all of the stuff for the saran wrap ball game. And I've got to wrap everything now. I mean, I'm not buying a whole lot, finances.
Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty much done with what I'm going to buy. But the saran wrap ball stuff my niece is going to get, she just wants me to go with her to make sure we've got everything for the party. We're also going to have a cookie decorating station.
Oh, fun.
So we got to pick up sprinkles for that and icing. We're going to have a hot cocoa station. And you know how I like to post different glasses or different mugs on Instagram with my coffee advent calendar. Well, all of my Christmas coffee cups are packed up in the storage unit. So I've run through all the ones that I had here. I've run through my mom's. So I went to Goodwill yesterday and found 5 more. And what we're going to do is they're all going to go over to my niece's for the party. They'll be at the hot cocoa station. And if you like the mug, you get to keep it and take it home with you.
Oh, that's cool.
So there'll be a bunch of different Christmassy mugs there at the hot cocoa station. And if people don't take them, if they just use them, we'll wash them and we'll just donate them back. Yeah. So I've been having a lot of fun with the mugs.
Shopping wise, oh my good, I picked up stuff for the grandkids and that's it. I haven't done.
Well, you did all. That's the important stuff. That was all you needed to do.
Yeah, I got.
You might want to buy John something, some new socks.
Yeah, I know. He told me I don't want anything. I said, well, you're taking it away from me because it's all about. He goes, it's not about getting presents. I was like, no, it's about giving them. God damn it, you're gonna let me give you a present.
Hi, Kraken. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Leanne.
Because he's one of those people who, if he wants something, he'll just buy it whenever he sees it. So,
yeah, that's my dad too. My niece and I gifted each other with the not having to buy each other a gift this year.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's not worry about it.
Well, my list is really small. I really only have John and Austin and Logan, my other son Logan, to buy for. I really don't have to worry about like everybody else, but I still have to go and do it. And here in the East Coast, we just got a snowstorm yesterday, which it was so pretty. I'm not going to lie. It really was. It snowed all day. So
I love days like that.
Yeah, all day. So usually when that happens, you get a ton of snow, but it was that pretty light, like Hollywood movie snow. So it was just a gentle snowfall all day. So we only got about 5 inches, where if it had been snowing all day and been monstrous, we should have had about 5 feet. But luckily that didn't happen. And now we're supposed to get more snow Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember.
And that's going to be a thunderstorm for us.
Oh no, we're supposed to get Arctic.
I'm like, thunderstorm. What? Yeah.
It's been raining a lot. And I was like, you know what? It's December. If it's gonna rain, can it just snow? It's December, In January, I might go, if it's gonna snow, can it rain? Like that, I'll change my mind because then snow is icky. But in December, snow is awesome. Snow is awesome. And for those of you who live in warmer climates, 5 inches to 6 inches for us who live in the Northeast is like, not a big deal. We're going to wait and let that fall, and then we'll go deal with it afterwards, just once, unless you're my dad, and then he goes out 6 times just to make, brush every snowflake off the driveway. Yours too? Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And then he'll do the widows across the street.
Yeah. It's like every hour. Yeah. Where are you going, Dad? I'm going to go shovel. Dad, there's like a 1/4 of an inch on the ground. Let it build up a little bit. Jesus.
No, you got to keep on top of it.
It's just, that's what he'd say. I gotta keep up on it.
Kathy, I haven't actually looked at today's forecast. My daughter called me last night. She's like, the weather says a thunderstorm. What does it mean, a thunderstorm? So I didn't look at the weather, but it was called, she said at the end of the week, it was calling for a thunderstorm. And I was like, oh, really weird.
I'll take the warmer weather. There was, what was it? A handful of years ago, it was about 70 to 80 degrees here for Christmas. It was so warm Christmas Day that we could have had Christmas outside. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you want it to be snowy and cold on Christmas. Then afterwards, you want nothing to do with it.
We could
This
just
is the way it
skip
is.
spring. Let's just have spring after.
Yeah, after Christmas, let's just have spring.
Let's have a white Christmas and then we can go to spring.
So it looks like, fingers crossed, we're going to have a white Christmas, which we haven't had in a while. Like a real white Christmas. Yeah.
We're here where we are right here in Ohio. We are more likely to have a white Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Than we are a white Christmas. Although this year was nice. We didn't have any issues this year. But yeah, past years, we've had a white Thanksgiving and a green Christmas.
Yeah, you gotta love that. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that makes for just a mess.
There.
Yeah, that just makes a mess. That's crap weather. That is just crap weather. Ugh. Oh my goodness. All right, so couple of announcements, guys. Couple of announcements first. We're going to do it now, and then we'll do it maybe near the end of the show. For the first show of the new year, we are doing a show. We're not doing a show the day after Christmas. So there'll be no show the day after Christmas. The next show we'll have will be the first show of the new year. So what Claudia and I would like to do is we would like you all to send us pictures. Send us pictures of the glass that you've bought from us. It could be from other people too, but it'd be kind of awesome if it was stuff that you've gotten from us. Show us how you have it displayed. Or like my shirt says, the cocktails were hung by the chimney with care. If you bought some really cool cocktail glasses or mugs or just regular glasses, show off a cocktail, your holiday cocktails. It can be a cup of coffee. It could be a cup of hot cocoa. It could be eggnog. It could be a glass of milk for all I care. Just have it be in something cool that you've gotten from us, and we will do a nice little slideshow for the new year. So you can email us your picture.
Email them to Nikki.
Yeah, email them to me.
Email them to Nikki. Can put together the slideshow.
Yeah.
And
so email them up.
We want to see your pretty glass that you've purchased from us in this last year, because we're coming up on a year.
Yep.
Your anniversary of doing Glass with Class. So if you have purchased glass from us, we'd love to see a picture. And you can email it to Nikki, and she'll put them all together.
Yes, it'll be fun. Interactive and fun. But if you did buy it from somebody else, please let us know who you bought it from.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to the reseller you bought it from. Or if you thrifted something that's so amazingly fantastic, you can show that off too. If it's glass and it is gorgeous, we want to see it.
Yes, we do. So that's the first announcement. Okay. What do you have coming up this week? Because we'll do it at the beginning and the end. Anything fun coming up this week?
This week, I'll have my regular sale on Wednesday, and then we are supposed to be rescheduled with Tiger on Thursday. Because after that confusion last week, then Tiger was under the weather, and we ended up not having a sale anyway. So Thursday, sale with Tiger, 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's the plan.
Awesome sauce. And I'm reworking my schedules out. So after the new year, I will readdress going back and doing some other things. I've got a few things in the works that I'm thinking about, but I really wanted the month of December off. I wanted a month off to just kind of chill out and have some fun with the family. So that being said, we'll repeat this later on if more people wander in. We're talking about Victorian glass today. Yay, Victorian milk glass to be specific, not just Victorian glass. Now, for the most part, we've already gone over milk glass. So there's nothing really new that we're going to really show you guys about Victorian milk glass in particular. But we'll go over a few things anyway. So here we go. Slideshow time. Victorian milk glass. As we stated when we showed the milk glass earlier on, it was one of our first ones we did. It was developed by Venetian glassmakers. It was called opal glass. at the time. And there's another name for it that I will show you as well, but it's more of a British name. And it was popular in Victorian times because of its resemblance to porcelain. So it was like poor man's porcelain. Porcelain was very, very popular. So here are a few really fun examples of some Victorian milk glass. Personally, I really love that hand jar. I think that thing is awesome.
I like the thing in the middle. That looks a lot like the piece I own.
It does. And then the one on the left is actually the base to an oil lamp. All righty. So what I did is I found a bunch of different companies that this is what they did. All right. So the first one here is Atterbury and Company. They were from 1859 to 1902. And one of their really big sellers, so this is a bolo, guys. On the left, the Ducks on Reed candy dish is a very, very high selling or big profit margin dish. I guess this was one of their most popular things they did. It is absolutely gorgeous. They also did do hens that later other companies copied. Their hens have red eyes, just on the lookout. And of course, I had to pull up these swimming swan mugs.
I hate you right now.
I know. I told you I have something you're going to want. Now, they made two styles of these, but this one is my favorite because the neck of the swan is actually the handle of the mug, which is awesome.
I need this in my life.
You do need these. They do. These are gorgeous, and they came in such a variety of color, including a couple of different milk glass shades, and probably one of the coolest ones I saw was a color they called butterscotch. Butterscotch milk glass. Yes, please. The other version they have is like a ring handle. It's a swan, but it's not, in my opinion, not as pretty as this one. So really pretty, guys. Polos. And I'm sorry, Claudia, here's another swan.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that pretty? Now, this is a British company, Sowerby, or Sowerby. I'm not quite sure how to say it. They call their milk glass, Victorian milk glass, vitro porcelain. And this stuff is amazing. So this is from their Queen's Ivory ware. And you can see how much it really does look like porcelain, but that's glass. It's gorgeous.
I just love that swan. Oh, I want it. I want it.
I knew you were going to want it. They have some gorgeous stuff. Now, I do own one piece of Sowerby. It's a little Nikki lady flower frog, and I'm still looking for a base for her. But, oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, the duck is better than the chicken, isn't it? I like the duck better myself. So this is another very popular company. You can get this stuff here in the States. Like I said, I do possess a piece. All right, here's another British invasion piece. This is Davidson. These were the 1800s. So on the left, you have the thistle and shamrock bowl. I mean, that's just really pretty, especially for this time of year. Oh, love it. And on the right, you have what's called the spill vase. Now, I did not know what a spill vase was. I had to go and look it up. A spill vase they would use in Victorian times and keep it on the mantelpiece, and they would put little splinters of wood, burnt out matches, little tapers, what have you, to light their oil lamps. So that's what these little vases were. I thought they were toothpick holders. And I have a spill vase I will show you all later. Okay, next company. Here we go. Here's the next cup. I love this hand-painted monkey face.
Wow.
Oh, that monkey is awesome. All right, this is Gildener and Sons, 1861 to today. Now, really cool. Anybody who lives in the New York area, in the Hudson Valley area, did not know this. They were a Pennsylvania company, but for some reason, and Port Jervis, which is not that far from where I live, and I go shopping there quite often, it's right on the border of Pennsylvania. That is where their museum was until very, very recently. They have stopped making this kind of glass now, and they really just make aviation glass. And their museum is not open anymore, which is a wicked bummer. But they do have a few really cool Victorian pieces of milk glass. Now, the pug on the right, they did do a reissue of this, and you can tell the difference because there's a little bit of a disc on the bottom that boosts it up. So the one on the right is actually Victorian style milk glass, or it's Victorian milk glass. Gorgeous pieces. All right, on to the next company. All right, this is a big one. This is Dithridge, 1860s, mid-1860s. There's a lot of debate as to when they actually started until 1901. Now, the one on the left is the hand-painted Astoria Rose, and then the one on the right is a Victorian Barber bottle, which I have up for sale today. They made probably the most glass, especially the painted glass. Victorian milk glass was very ornate. It had lots of frou-frou-y intricacies to it, and they would do a lot of hand painting on them. So Dithridge is a company, you will probably see more Dithridge out there than anything else. It's the easiest stuff to find. Okay, next up, this is a French and German company. It was French, and then it was bought by a company in Germany. They merged together. I just put both the names together because it was a region of France that would flip-flop back and forth between France and Germany. So the one on the left is a Louis the 15th milk glass creamer. It says white. It's actually pink. Typo. My bad. It's gorgeous. And then the one on the right is a hand vase. And you can look at the difference in the hand, though. It looks like a cartoon hand compared to the first one I showed you. I don't know if the Astoria glass was made for the hotel. It is quite possible that it was. I just did not find out that information, but it sounds right? All right, here are a few other notables. Another British company who made them was Henry Greener. And you can see the difference in the British milk glass as opposed to the American milk glass. The British milk glass really was dense and looked like porcelain. It's almost a different shade of milk glass. And then you have the one on the right, which is a Westmoreland piece. And yes, Westmoreland was around back then to make some of this glass. It's much more lighter and a little bit more translucent, a little bit less looking like porcelain than the British stuff. All right. And here's another British company that I love these griffins, so I showed them in the two different colors. You have the blue and the white. And I will say this, most of that stuff, if not all of that stuff, is available out there in the broader spectrum of things. Now, I have a little piece here I'll show you, and then the rest of my Victorian milk glass will be for sale. So this is my Victorian spill vase that would have been hand painted. And you can see the paint's worn off, but you know what? That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me at all. All right, so I'm gonna let Claudia go. She's got some stuff. I'm gonna make her a little bit bigger because she's got this gorgeous piece. Oops, wrong button. There we go. No, there.
Hey,
all right. Yay!
This is in my personal collections, not for sale, but I wanted to show you guys the details on here. And just like Nikki's piece, the paint is wearing off, but it's just so charming. And it's full of brooches, but because it sits on my dresser. But look at
I love the
detail on the top. And it's got one tiny bit of a flower left on it. But
isn't it gorgeous?
So pretty. You know, like 3 years ago and further back than that, I came across these pieces all the time in thrift stores. And I was like, because I did not like white glass at all. And now that I've fallen in love with these Victorian pieces, can't find them anymore. Can't find them.
Yeah.
So this is my one piece in my personal collection. It's just so pretty.
And that's one of the ways you can tell it's Victorian milk glass when you see the little fleur-de-lis or the little poofies on there. And the paint.
All those details.
All those little.
We thought this one might be Dithridge.
Dithridge. Yeah.
But when you pulled up that old Westmoreland, it does kind of favor that old Westmoreland too. Now I got to find someplace safe to set it down.
And if you will find Victorian milk glass, they used it for so many different things, but a lot of it was hand painted. It did have the gold. It did have flowers on it, or daisies, or swans, or something along those lines. It is very hard to find, if not impossible. It's probably a museum piece if it doesn't have paint loss. It's going to have paint loss.
Because these were things that were just used in daily life the way we use Tupperware now. Like, we would not have something gorgeous sitting there to collect bits of wood to light lamps with. That kind of stuff just goes into plastic. Hi, strong lines.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have that stuff, but it's going to be like that. It's more for the love of the piece. And another thing, Victorian milk glass is uber thick. For the most part, it is super, super thick. And a lot of times stamped with a number on the bottom, which is weird. It'll have like a number 23 or a number
Yep.
3
This lid,
or, yeah,
can you see it?
yep,
G84.
yep. It'll have a number stamped on them. So that's another key that it's a Victorian piece and not a knockoff, because in the 80s, there was this whole Victorian revival. So some of the glassmaking companies were remaking stuff that looked Victorian. I think there was another surge in the 50s as well for some of that kind of stuff.
Benton in the
Yeah.
80s was making pieces that look very much. So those are more commonly available maybe than Victorian milk glass if you're looking just to add some pieces because you like the romantic feel of them. But Nikki and I were talking before we went live about how just because it's 100 years old, which technically makes it an antique, does not make it worth a lot. If you go onto eBay and you search Victorian milk glass and then look at the sold comps, doesn't sell for much. It really doesn't. Now some of the rare pieces will, but hi Jeannie. But just like basic pieces like that powder jar, they're not going to sell for a lot. So
No.
just because it's an antique does not make it automatically worth a lot of money. You know, hi Helen, in 10 years, a lot of depression glass is going to become an antique.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So just because it's an antique does not make it worth a lot of money. But if you love the look, you can pick up some pieces and have that romance of the Victorian. I just love all the ornate little bits on. I really love that. There are two areas I like. I like the Victorian area, and hey Edward, I like the 1950s. Those are my two.
Oh,
so my room was
yeah.
decorated in Victorian for years. This
Yeah.
1950s bedroom I have now is just a very new thing.
Love the Victorian stuff. That's my favorite. And my second is probably just a handful of years later, the 20s and the 30s. I love the idea of the roaring 20s and the flapper girls. And yep, some of my favorites. But the Victorian milk glass, it is relatively inexpensive. There are some pieces, though, that are going to be worth more. Like those Barber bottles are definitely worth more than, say, a powder dish. But you can pick them up from people
or
who
even
don't
like
care.
a pin dish.
Yeah.
Pin dish you can pick up relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
So if you want to add some of those pieces, there
and
are some.
Sometimes you get lucky at thrift stores. I don't think I've ever come across a piece. I'm trying to use my brain. By Barber's bottle I came across, and I swore when I first saw it that I thought it was a light. It was like, can't be a light because it's too skinny at the top. I don't know what it is. I like it. I'm buying it, and woo, it was a Barber bottle. But there's so many different places you can get them, and people almost give them away now because they don't think they're worth all that much, but they really are pretty.
Now they are
really
going to be more expensive at antique stores because they know how old they are. They've done their research. They know how desirable it might be. But it is something that you can still pick up relatively cheap if you keep an eye out. But like I said, last few years, I have not seen a single piece in my thrift store where 5 years ago, I saw Victorian milk glass all the time at the thrift store. So
yeah,
I think it might be one of those
get
things
it.
that we're on an upswing again where it's going to be worth what it's supposed to be worth again.
Yeah, it fits in with the cottage core, shabby chic, grandma chic, whatever word you want to use. It really fits in nicely to that kind of decor. I think that's why, maybe, hopefully, everything ebbs and flows.
It really, really does.
Everything
All right, are
ebbs
we
and
ready
flows.
to get started?
Go for it.
Okay, so my first item. So some of the items I've shown before, some of the items are going to be brand new that you've never even seen because I actually did get out and get to source some yesterday. So first item, the Welch's wine bottle, and it's the green. So I think it'd be really pretty in a Christmas display of glass. Do you see my red and green Christmas display back here?
I love it. I love this piece. And it would go all the way through the spring, too, with the white and the green. Oh.
Yeah, because you St. Patrick's Day and then on into spring for Easter. Yeah, it's Hazel Atlas. And if you haven't seen this before, Welch's got bought out. I can't remember the year. and they started bottling wine under the Welch's label, and people were horrified because they did not want to buy an alcoholic beverage from Welch's because Welch's was supposed to be grape juice. It failed.
Kid
So
wine.
bottles were only made for a few years. They were made in a lot of different colors. So this is one of the white
I love it.
glass with the green speckle in it. So
Reminds me of
super
snow
pretty.
on grass.
And 10 inches tall. So 10 inches tall. And today it is $10, number 6. $10, number 6.
It'd make a great little display for flowers, especially like fake
Yeah.
flowers, but it would be a really cute little display for fun flowers.
And it does have a nice ring of fire around
Oh, yeah.
the top here. Okay, second item of the day. Now, I'm going to tell you 3 of the 4 of these are dishwasher damaged. They aren't dirty, they are dishwasher damaged. These are uranium glass water goblets.
Oh, those are nice.
Get nice glow on them. But they're depression era, so there is. And here is the one that does not have the dishwasher damage here.
Oh, yeah,
So you
can
can
see the
really
difference.
tell. See that how clear that one is. But the other 3 are going to have the dishwasher damage. I mean, I'm assuming it's dishwasher damage, but a lot more wear. So this must have been the one that was in the back of the.
That was the one that never
did not
got
get
used.
used a lot. But it is a set of 4.
Come on, we all have those where you have one plate that always gets used a lot because it ends up on top of the pile. Yeah.
Yep. So almost 6 inches tall on these, just under 6 inches tall. It's a whole set of 4. I'm actually asking less than what I paid for them because when I bought them, I had looked at this one. There was a set of 8 and I only wanted 4 because I was buying these for myself. And I was holding up this one and I asked the lady if she'd be willing to split the set. And she said, sure, and grabbed up 3 more and walked away with them. So I did not see that these were cloudy and had dishwasher. So I actually paid more than I'm going to ask for them. But since I moved, I don't have room for them. So if you want some glowy glass, this is a really good deal for these. For all 4.
They'd also make nice little ice cream dishes.
Yeah. Just $12 for all 4. $12, number 14. And those are my 2.
Okay. Very nice. I like them. All right. So Claudia had, look at, we didn't plan this. It's going to come out this way. You have a bottle.
That
I got
looks
a bottle.
familiar.
Yeah, I know you have one too. I know. This is the Jim Beam Grecian mid-70s marbleized bottle. Come on. We got to love the discus thrower, man. It does still have its cork and it's extra little. There's an extra little like stopper. This piece came off of the cork. I'm assuming that's how that went down, that would have went on there. But these pieces are gorgeous because they look like marble. And the camera's not going to show it up quite as nicely. You can see the little striation right in here. And there's a good one. The striation right in there as well. So these are really cool. Hello. And they're nice. These are tall babies too. These are really tall babies. So this is like 13, 14 inches tall because it's over a foot from top to bottom. But they're really neat pieces for this time of the year. After the holidays, when everyone takes down their decorations, you kind of go, oh, I missed. But some people keep going on and they do white and blue. This would fit in perfectly with that. I don't know. It's pretty clean inside. Doesn't smell, so that's good. There's a little bit on the bottom down in there, but I like it. I think it's a neat little piece. I love that it looks like marble. I'm a sucker for marble. And if you're interested, this will be $15, number 73. $15, number 73 on my Jim Beam guy there. Carefully put you down. All right. Next up, I have my first piece of Victorian milk glass. So here we go.
Ooh,
now,
so
in the center, isn't it pretty? Love it. In the center, they're flowers. And then all this lovely little gold paint all around. Most of the gold paint is actually in pretty good condition. Now, Victorian milk glass doesn't have that wowzer ring of fire. This is a very faint one. It almost looks like a snowflake. That's kind of how I look at it around the top here. I am pretty sure this was a butter dish. So you see this ring here. I'm pretty sure there was a cloche that probably would have went on top of it, and it would have been a very ornate butter dish. This one does have a number stamped on the back. I believe it says 207. It's hard to see. I think it says 207. There's a number stamped on the bottom here. It's really hard to read. It does say like 207. But you can see through it. So you can see my finger.
Yeah.
Hey, Bree. Through the milk glass. It is a really, really lovely piece. And maybe you have a cloche. Maybe you have a clear cloche top. That would look really pretty with this. So 7 inches from point to point across. There are no condition issues with it except for the faded paint. And if you're interested in this guy here, let me grab my little card. It is going to be $10, number 90. $10, number 90 for the piece of Victorian milk glass. And just so you can see how thick the milk glass actually is. It's a really neat piece. Okay, those are my two. I'm going to slide you over.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, how you can pick up a piece of romantic Victorian glass for good price. $10. That piece is over 100 years old. So
it also fits a pillar handle beautifully.
There are some you can pick up for a really good price, even from us.
Even from us.
I also have a milk glass plate. This one is later than the Victorian, but not as late as the really thick. So both these pieces are Westmoreland. This is Westmoreland that has the ring of fire.
Oh, I love these. Oh, yeah, you can still see it.
Around.
Oh, wow.
So it has a stunning ring of fire. It's got your image in the middle, Westmoreland on the back, the WG.
And Westmoreland made the best milk glass. They totally did.
They did. Well, they'd been doing it for years and years.
Yeah.
So it's like 7¼ inches wide. So just a pretty little plate. But the ring of fire is just stunning. So beautiful. $8, number 2. So this one is not an antique, but this would have been in between the, trying to remember when this one was made, but in between where Westmoreland made the really big chunky pieces.
It's probably from the 40s or the 50s when that little bit of revival kind of came back around for like grandma stuff. Yeah, I do too, Kath. Leanne, I love Westmoreland glass.
Yeah, me
better
too.
than Fenton milk glass. And there are going to be people who go, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Westmoreland is definitely better in milk glass than Fenton.
Yep. My next item is just a little Libby water decanter. It's got hardly any wear on the gold. And it doesn't have a cup, like a bedside decanter. It's got just a little lid. How cute is that?
That's
so the little lid, its gold's in pretty good shape too. It's just the tiniest bit of wear. And you can see the L there on the bottom. And it had a little bit of sticker residue. This was underneath the actual price sticker. So I don't know. It's one of those older stickers that doesn't want to come off. I gave it a good scrub. But it's got this really pretty gold pattern. So if you're having guests for the holidays, you can set that in there with a fancy little cup because my cat broke one right after the sale last week. I'm just going to include it. You're just going to get the little German cup I had for sale last week with the Libby decanter. And you can thank my cat for that. Just $12 for both pieces, number 18.
But what's great about those is I love the decanters because when you go to a really cute little restaurant, they bring over water like that and they'll put it and it'll be cucumbers or like lemon, and you can have that and just like be fancy every day.
Yes, yes, you should enjoy life. It goes by way too fast. Those are my two.
Be fancy every day. Okay. My next piece, I love this for this time of the year. It is an oddly shaped, asymmetrical piece of clear glass, but it is a sterling overlay. So it has these really pretty little, almost like wildflower looking overlay. And now the sterling is put on the inside. The outside, you can see just the back of the sterling. And it is rimmed all the way around. I love the piece. It's just such a uniquely shaped baby piece. And let me tell you, little candies look great in this. I now use, at this time of the year, I have all my candy dishes out that I really like, and we have candy in them. So use the pretties, people. This is what we're talking about. So if you're interested in this guy right here, a very narrow base too on this little baby. He's going to be $12, number 93. $12, number 93 on that one. And thank you, Leanne, for reminding everybody to give us a thumbs up. I appreciate that.
Did you see my Instagram post where 2 of the candy jars I had for sale last week are upstairs now with Christmas candy in them?
No, I missed
Mom
that
bought more
one.
Christmas candy. She's like, I don't know what to put this in. I'm like, hold on, I know
Wait.
what to put that in.
Yep, one of the pieces I had up for sale last week, the Oyster of Pearls clear jar, now currently has the Hershey Kisses in it, sitting on the table for everyone. But everyone has a hard time opening it up because the little top is so short that they have like longer, meatier fingers. I was like, I got no problem doing it. Okay, next up, I have another piece of Victorian glass. This is one of the few pieces that does have an intense ring of fire. It is gorgeous all the way around the top in here, and even down lower you can see it. And I love that you can see, look, you can see the shadow of my finger through the back. The golden has come off a little bit, but I really like the way it looks. Sometimes when it fades naturally, it just looks so pretty. I'm calling it a soap dish because to me,
I
that's
adore this piece. I adore it.
I love it. I've had this up for sale a few times, but I said, well, we're doing Victorian milk class, so I'm going to bring it back. It is a baby piece. This is 4.5 inches, 4.5 inch little baby rectangle. So if you are interested in this little baby here, it's going to be just $8, number 78. $8, number 78 on this little beauty. And those are my two. I have to look for that one. I missed that one.
That little dish is just the perfect piece because you guys have probably heard me talk about it before. I tend to just take off my earrings and rings wherever I'm at. So I keep
Yep.
pretty little dishes sitting around, and then I go around and collect them and put everything away once a week. That's a perfect dish for that. I
I
love it.
do that too.
And you got Sheila for number
Oh,
78.
all right. Awesome. Sheila, I think you're new to me. Just make sure you send your information over here to Black Dog Vintage and Antiques. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. I swear I wasn't going to get rid of it, but oh, here it
Oh my
is.
God, I love this piece.
The Westmoreland Glass Argonaut. So it's got the dolphins on the bottom. It's got the seashell top.
God.
It's amberina. Look at that amberina on that lid. Look at that. It's beautiful. So much detail. This is Westmoreland. And there is some teeny, teeny, tiny flea bites around here. Nothing that I think that's even big enough to see. You see that teeny,
Oh my
tiny
God.
flea bite right there?
But the amberina gradation
Yeah.
is, when you hold it up like that, is ridiculous.
I know.
Oh,
And that gets hidden when the lid is on. Like you don't even see.
oh.
It's really stunning. And then on the inside, there's a little bit of flea bites here too. So it has been used as a candy dish in the past. I obviously did not use it as a candy dish. I just admired it for the last year or so. But it's got this beautiful beading all the way around. These tiny little seashells. The details on these are just, oh, it's so good.
Oh my God. I'm kind of drooling over this piece.
And it is a harder to find piece in a harder to find color. I could not find one currently for sale on eBay in the amberina. They did have some in other colors, and man, I didn't know it came in amber. It came in amber. Amber
Oh,
would fit perfectly in with my amber glass collection now that I'm not collecting amberina anymore.
but you all know how we love feet on this. Like not feet,
Yeah.
not human feet. I hate human feet. Like footed bowls, okay? This is
So
beyond.
it is. It is very stunning. It is a harder to find piece. I'm not going to say rare, but a harder to find piece. It stands 7 inches tall with the lid on, but it does have a nice amount of bowl space. And of course, it is going to glow orange under a black light where you see the gradation there of the amberina. It is $50. $50, number 10.
Oh, so worth it. So worth
Hey,
it.
Skunky Junk. And you guys,
No.
our friend
I
Skunky Junk
thought-
there has a Whatnot channel now, so you need to head over to Whatnot and find
Oh,
him.
oh, Sean, I gotta
Follow
find
him.
you. Oh my God, Nikki has an anti-foot fetish. Are you kidding me? Nobody's feet are allowed anywhere near me.
All right, my next piece is also a harder to find piece. This is the all glass
Oh my gosh.
Rooster cocktail shaker. Now I found these listed as Heisey. It's not marked Heisey, and you guys know I don't like to say that yes, it is this if it's not marked, but it's got all 3
Oh
pieces.
my gosh. But you know what? The clarity of this is, it is kind of screaming high C with the clarity. Yeah.
So it does not have any
Oh
chips
my
or
gosh.
cracks or dings on any of its points. It doesn't even have, I don't think they used it.
No, it
Because
probably sat
usually
and
you
looked
get
pretty.
some chipping around here.
Yeah.
I don't think they used it. And a lot of times you'll find 1 or 2 of the pieces, but not all 3 pieces. So it's got all 3 pieces. Thank you for that, Sean. Thank you. Hope my mom is taking her nap right now. So here is the strainer where you'd strain your ice would not come out while you were pouring. It's got your nice little pour spout here. Talk about a fancy way to make your drinks. No chips in here or here.
Oh my God, I love this.
I agree with you about the clarity. So this
Yeah.
piece goes in right there. This piece goes in there. Talk about making your cocktails super, super fancy.
A Cosmo in this would just look awesome with the pink. I just, ooh. And
It
Heisey
is
marked most of this stuff, but not all of it.
14 inches tall. And this again is a harder to find piece, especially with all 3 of the separate pieces in glass, because this is glass on glass on glass. It is $100, number 8. $100.
That might be the most expensive thing we've ever put up for sale on this show. And it's totally worth it because, as Claudia was telling me before the show, these are going for sometimes twice that amount.
Yeah, $150 to $200 if you go look them up on eBay right now. So $100.
And some of those, and those are sold, not what they're
absolutely.
going for now. So holy moly, that is I can't even get my mind wrapped around the fact that the strainer is glass. Like that's just
Yeah, when I picked that up, I knew I'd found something special.
oh my
And
Lord.
I've had it for at least a year, just sitting on a shelf. And those my 2.
It's yummy. It's yummy. You guys just saw something super rare, the most expensive thing we've ever shown, and probably the coolest thing we've ever shown, right at the end of the year, just for you. Okay, I can't follow that, but I'm going to try. I have up next, is it this one? Yes. All right, so I found this one. I finally got out my Christmas decor. I had this all packed away. I just did it this week. Should have had it for our Christmas glass sale, but didn't. So this is a piece of Wheaton. I don't know if you can see it. It says Christmas 1980. It has a blue snowflake on the front, and on the back it says, "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow," 3 times. It is stamped on the bottom that it was made by the Wheaton Company. It actually says Wheaton, copyright Village, handmade, and then it says first edition on the bottom. It still has its little stopper. I think this is the stopper that came with it. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it is. So it is from the 80s. This is plastic on the top. I just love the color. It's that icy light blue, glacier blue color. It's just a fun little piece. The bottom is nice and flat, so it does stand up. Height-wise, it's not really tall. It's 9.5 inches, and the whole diameter is about 5. So not a super huge piece, but a super cute piece, especially if maybe a kid or a grandkid came along in the 80s, or just to have. I just like it for the color and the snowflakes and the let it snow bit. You can just turn it around. Let it snow. You can do lots of fun things with it too. So this is just going to be $10, number 85. $10, number 85 for the blue glass decanter. I think this would look fun with like a little winter scene in here, like ship in a bottle style. That's kind of where my mind was going with that. All right, I showed it in the beginning on one of the clips. It was Dithridge. I'm about 95% sure this is Dithridge as well. There's another company that made these as well, and they get attributed, once again, mold stealing people. So this is a Victorian barber bottle. This would have sat on a dresser. It would have had all sorts of hair tonics. Back then, they actually used real bear grease in their hair. Can you imagine how that smelled? Can you just imagine how that smelled?
Can you
like
imagine
his hair looked
how they
great.
smelled in general?
I know.
We romanticize that time period, but
We do.
Regular bathing was not a thing. It was not.
No. But and can you just, in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the heat, your hair looks perfect, but you smell like bear fat.
Ugh.
Rancid
bear fat.
Rancid bear fat at that, yeah. This probably wouldn't have had that in it. Probably would have had like a maybe a lavender water or an orange blossom water in it. And just, once again, just the little details that they put into doing these pieces. Now, it does not have the stopper. I don't have the stopper for it. It's a little rough around the top here. It's not quite as smooth, but once again, this is about 100 years old, or over 100 years old, I should say. And it is just a really pretty piece. Now, when I saw it, that's as much of it as I saw when it came around the corner. So I went, oh, that's a fancy light globe. How do you get the light bulb on? I had no idea what it was until I got it home and looked it up. It's got the really pretty beading all across the top there as well. And once again, like we said, with a lot of Victorian glass, it's got a number on the bottom. This one is number 3. It does have 2 seams, so they didn't really file them down, but these were done up. Now you have bottles that are like this. There's another type that has a lion face, where this is, and then there are other ones that are skinnier and then are hand painted. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous piece just to sit on its own. You don't come across them often. And this one's going to be $40, number 74. $40, number 74. And it's really pretty this time of year too, because when you just kind of sit and think about it, it looks like a big snowball. Don't throw it though, because it will. And those were, oh, yes, it would be pretty like that, Sean. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Those were mine too. Over to you, Miss Claudia.
All right. So my next one is Westmoreland again. Not Victorian, but it does have a very pretty faint ring of fire. It's not going to be able to catch it across the beads here. This is the wedding box style.
I love those.
Dish.
Yeah.
And let me double check, but I don't believe there's any chips, cracks, or even flea bites on this one. No, this one was not used as a candy dish.
That's where you put your really fancy candy in.
Got the Westmoreland glass stamp here on the bottom. I love the beading that goes down the side and then is on the lid too. And I know that the grape pattern gets a bad rap. I don't know why.
I give it a bad rap. It's my fault.
Jeffrey hates the grape. Anything
I'm not
grape
a huge fan of it.
Hates it. But I really like this. I really think it is super pretty.
See, but this one doesn't bother me. This one particular, because I think it's the shape of the piece, that it's the wedding box style. And Sean's totally right. Old-fashioned ribbon candy absolutely would look amazing in there.
Mhm. And it stands about 4 3/4 inches tall and about 4.5 inches wide. So it does have a nice amount of space to put candy in if you so desired. But that ring of fire is so pretty on the top. No chips, no cracks. $20, number 16. $20, number 16. And then you guys have seen these before. You're going to get a deal. I had these up for sale before. They are the Fenton Silvercrest pieces. The ruffled dish and then the ruffled bowl, because the ruffles, excuse me, the ruffles were brought up higher. No chips, no cracks. We know them, we love them, but you are going to get them both for $10.
Oh, wow.
$10. And if I will invoice today, things will ship out tomorrow. If you pay overnight, you'll get them before Christmas. You can put pretties in these. You can put things for your hot chocolate bar in these. You can serve fudge in them.
I
or
love them.
make fudge for your neighbors and put them in here.
Yeah.
You can get both for $10.
Wow.
Number 4. $10, number 4. Really like someone to have them before Christmas because they're so pretty.
We love the petticoat glass, as we learned it's also called. We love this stuff.
And those are mine too.
And if I ever find a piece of emerald, I did find one, but it was
Emerald
broken.
crest.
Oh, it was broken beyond all get out. I was so heartbroken. And the fool was selling it for like $30. I'm like, you're smoking something that I would like a little tote on because you live in a fantasy world. We should all live there. Okay. Up next, I have a little perfume bottle. Now, I do not know how old this is. I've had it for pretty much 20 years. I've held on to it. So I don't like to say 20 years is vintage. I like 25 better. But it has really pretty little stopper. And there are no little flea bites on this right here. There's no little, it's in really great shape there. I love the little diamondy point on the top. Just simple little clear glass on the bottom. I have no idea who made it. Nobody wants to claim ownership of it, but it is just I like the clear ones because you can do a lot with them. You can put lots of fun little stuff in them and see what's in them. So if you're interested in this,
lid.
this is my favorite bit.
Love
And
that.
the prism is fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, where's my little tag? Here it is. And if you're interested in this one, it's going to be $8, number 87. $8, number 87 on this one. I know I've had a little collection of these.
John, those are definitely grapes on that candy dish, not pine cones. I mean, you could pretend, but they're grapes.
Oh, let's pretend. Let's pretend. I like that. Okay, because I didn't want it to be all milk glass and all clear glass, I brought a couple of colored pieces. This is another one of them. I have shown this before. I'd actually sold it before, but the person did pay for it. So I'm bringing it back. Here is my little Murano sailboat for all of us who wish we were actually in the tropics right now. So it does have the really pretty millefiori on the sails, and it's not just on the one side. It's on the other side as well. So cobalt on the top, super clear on the bottom, nice, really, really highly polished bottom. It's not a super big piece. It is 8 inches tall, so totally doable on if you're a sailor. There's no condition issues with this at all. No chips, no cracks, just a real pretty little piece. And if you're interested in my little Murano sailboat, it's going to be $30, number 89. $30, number 89. And those are my two.
I love the blue.
Oh, I know. We got to bring back the cobalt, I think.
Yeah.
We need some more cobalt in our lives.
So my next piece is another Westmoreland. I did a lot of Westmoreland today, not on purpose. It just happened to be that way.
Yeah.
This is the old quilt pattern. And this is a really big creamer. it's really big. This
It
is
is.
what I'm talking about when I say Westmoreland made really chunky
Yeah.
pieces once they got on into the 80s. Chunky. So it does have the WG on the bottom in the very center. It's pressed in there. And no chips, no cracks. There's none of the teeth have gotten broken off. It's a really good condition.
You know, it'd
And
be fun for
is,
syrup right now to do your pancakes.
yeah. I think that these oversized creamers have a lot of uses, especially if you're
Yeah.
doing any entertaining. Just $10. $10, number 20, because it looks elegant, but it's not going to break easily. It's a
Yeah.
nice chunky piece.
And I've actually used pieces that are around that size before to plant little succulents in them. You just put a little bit of gravel on the bottom, a little bit of soil, a little bit of gravel, and they look gorgeous with
Yeah.
the little succulents in them.
Then my last piece today is this little anchor hawking saucer, because it's got these really pretty orange and yellow flowers on it. And I bought this from another reseller and then ended up barely having anything that's orange or yellow. I mostly stuck with the blues, greens, and pinks. So just a saucer. It's got your Fire King there on the back. And it's only going to be $5. $5, number 12.
Because you never know, you might actually have the cup that goes with that saucer. Sometimes
Oh,
it's
that
the
would be so
mismatched
pretty.
pieces, you know? Oh,
That was my
really?
last one.
They quit using, because I miss the cobalt, the 90s cobalt. Hey, Angela. Thank you. Hopefully work goes easy for you the rest of the day. Okay. Next up, I have, and I am selling it. It is a cigar ashtray, and it is uranium glass. Now,
it's so
I'm
good.
gonna go out on a limb and say it's either Hazel Atlas or Anchor Hawking. It is not marked, so probably Hazel Atlas. So it has the big one up here, and then it's got 1, 2, 3 more spaces right there. Oh, Finals Week is madness. That is madness. It does glow. The tippy top does glow. The whole thing glows, but the top glows. The top bit glows the most amazingness.
My mom saw your preview and said my grandparents had this exact one.
Did they? Oh, that's so cute. All right, it's 4 inches. It's 4 inches across. And I have more than enough ashtrays, or I would keep this. I have this really cool burlwood one that I really am in love with. So that one stays out and looks all pretty. So this one here, I can let you go. It's okay. So if you're interested in the uranium glass cigar ashtray, because it's nice to have a cigar every now and again. It's going to be $12, number 75. $12, number 75. And I think it's neat because you could technically hang this. I know Peterson had her collection and they were all hanging up on the walls. This one you could actually do that with, although I don't know why you'd hurt yourself. I feel like you'd walk by and you'd hurt yourself. Oh, 75 and send it to Claudia. Thank you, Angela. That's so sweet.
Oh, Angela.
That's awesome.
Oh,
I'm gonna keep it. She's gonna love
was
it.
just living in envy over here over that. And Kathy said that the taller bit's a pipe holder.
Oh, maybe, you know what?
That makes
I
sense.
think you're right. Thank you. I should know that. My dad smoked a pipe the whole time. That was my favorite Christmas gift to get him every year for Christmas. I would go into that's when a young kid could buy tobacco. I would go into the pipe tobacco shop and I would smell everything and go, that's the one I'm going to pick because it's had to smell nice. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. My last piece. What is my last piece? Oh, yeah. Okay. So here we go. I have an egg dish. This, I believe, is Hazel Atlas as well. Look at the bottom of that, though. I mean, they did such a beautiful, beautiful job on the bottom. Now, most, if not all of the gold, there's minor wear to the gold. Here's a little part where there's some minor wear to the gold right in here. But for the most part, the gold is all there. I had somebody who had seen this on my story that I'd done, and they went, "Oh my goodness, my mother has one of those, but she kept putting it in the dishwasher and it lost all its gold. I love that it has all its gold." So deviled egg fans, this would be beautiful. But there are lots of other uses for this. The little beads, marbles. It has a real pretty, the barber bottle, believe it or not, actually fits quite beautifully right in the center of there. So there's lots of different extra uses for these nice little pieces. But I thought I'd bring it here and show it off because it's Victorian style milk glass. So if you're interested in the egg hazel atlas, really pretty back, would look nice hanging up on a gallery wall. $10, number 91. $10, number 91. I know it's one of the favorites here in this house. My kids love John's deviled eggs. So that's a big request for him to make the deviled eggs. And of course, we have a plate already. I mean, how many deviled egg plates do you really need? Not a lot. Okay, so we're going to go over some fun stuff now, guys.
I'm still blown away by Angela. I just have to
I
say
know.
that. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. If you weren't here in the beginning, we're asking for pictures from you all. If you bought from us, if you bought from another reseller, of course, we prefer if you bought from us, but that's okay. But even if you bought from other resellers or you thrifted it yourself, if you thrifted, it's a really cool piece of glass. We would like you to share your pictures with us. You can email me down here. Send us your picture, how you have it displayed. Maybe it's an awesome cocktail. Yes, I'm looking at you, Angela. Maybe it's an awesome cocktail that's in a really cool vintage glass that you've made, because my shirt says the cocktails were hung by the chimney, were poured by the chimney with care.
I'm just wearing Santa.
I love your Santa. And I love her little antlers. You know, send us a picture of your cocktail. If it's a cocktail, please send the recipe because people might want it. Send us a picture of how you displayed a piece of glass that you picked up recently, because we're coming up on our year anniversary, and in the new year we want to share. So we want to do a, hey, this is what you guys found, bought, and this is how you have it on display pictures. Claudia and I will put up some pictures of our own too, but I really, you do need this shirt, Angela. Really, really would love for you guys. We want to make it interactive, so please send us some pictures. It can be anything as long as it's glass. That's all we're. That's all we're
Anytime the
asking.
last year, so all of 2022, we would love to see how you're using your glass that you purchased from us or other resellers. If you send us a picture, you purchased it from another reseller, and you remember who that was, make sure you let us know. We'll give them a shout out. Or if you just bought yourself a fantastic piece of glass and you have to show it off, we want to see your year in glass. That's what Nikki will put together a slideshow, and our first Glass with Class at the beginning of next year, 2023. We're going to look at all the beautiful things that you guys do with your glass. I switched mine out to be red and green today. It's so pretty. I'm really loving it.
And I was amazed because I did red and black this year on my Christmas video. And I was amazed at how much red, black, and white I actually did. Not a lot of red glass, but how much I had and how nicely it actually does look together. So sometimes you can amaze yourself by just regrouping a few things and going, dang, that looks nice. I'm kind of happy with that.
I'm the queen of regrouping things.
Yeah.
Because I had pulled out, for one of my shows, I pulled out all of my amber fairy light lamps and had them behind me, and just to show them off because they're over there. Nobody gets to see them but me.
Yeah. So this is a way for you to share with everybody out there that all the cool glass that you've gotten in the last year, your favorite piece, and you can send in more than one. I have no problem with that. Please send them in. If I get a ton of them, oh, thank you. That's awesome. And if I get a ton of them, we'll just, we'll sit here for a little bit longer that day. That's all. It'll be a fun New Year's thing to do. It'll be right after New Year's. No resolutions. Our resolution is to make the glass look prettier and use all our pretties. That should be everyone's New Year's resolution, because that's one you can keep, I think, anyways. Next week, what are we doing next week? We're going to be on Claudia's channel next week.
We are going to delve into the glass Christmas trees. How did those come about? Are they something that's fairly new? Are they something, how far back do they go? So that is what we are going to be talking about next week. And then don't forget, the week after, we're taking off that week. So no sales for either of us on any platform.
Nope.
Between Christmas and New Year's. We're gonna take a break
Yep.
And so we won't be here. But this week I have 2 more sales. Wednesday morning, I have my regular coffee and a chat. And thanks. We love you guys too. You make all of
Great.
this possible.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, I will be on with Tiger. Tiger was feeling under the weather last week, and so we moved it to this week. But he assures me he's feeling better, so we should be full steam ahead on Thursday for our sale at 11 a.m. Eastern. And that's what I've got going on.
Awesome. I'm taking the rest of the month off with the exception of this show and regrouping. And in the new year, coming at it fresh over on Whatnot, probably going to scale down. I think I was over chewing a little bit.
And don't forget that Skunky Junk is on Whatnot now. Under
Yes.
Skunky Junk, you can go find him there. I ran right over as soon as I saw it, and I followed him on Whatnot. Even though I'm not on Whatnot a lot, I went right over there and made sure I gave him a follow. So Kathy's had her glass tree since the 80s, so we know at least they go back to the 80s.
Yeah. Because I couldn't find, the closest thing I could find in Victorian times was they called it a tree. It did not look like a tree. It looked like a pine cone lamp. And I showed it a couple of times when we did the Christmas glass. I had showed it to you guys then, but it's just didn't look like no tree. But I do think at the 80s, I think that remember mall art, I called it mall art. You go to those kiosks and they have all those little crystalline figurine breakable things that my mom would never let me have because I was super clumsy. I have a sneaky feeling that's probably when they started, when that kind of stuff became popular. But
well, and I know that Mikasa,
yeah,
when they started doing all of the crystal, and it was super popular in the beginning of the 90s because I was working in Kaufman's department store, and my department was better suits and ladies' better suits and coats, but the manager of the better glassware department liked me so well that when somebody called off, I would go work in that department, and we sold a ton of Mikasa stuff, and those glass trees were really popular then.
Yeah. What's the other company that made the Swedish company? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's not Coda, but it's something like that. That made stuff like
I don't know, but I know who you're talking about.
I can't get it out.
That will be next week's topic.
That'll be next week.
Talk about something Christmassy next week.
Yep. We'll have a little bit of fun with that.
All right. As always, we will have beautiful glass.
Yes. And we'll be here to wish you all a happy holidays. Guys, get out there, do your stuff, but enjoy it. Enjoy the holiday season. Make sure you say happy holidays to people, and just remember that it is just as stressful for them as it is for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And enjoy your holiday. Like, take the time and enjoy the holidays, even if it means sitting down at night when everyone's gone to bed and you're watching a silly, we've talked about the Christmas movie with a cup of cocoa, and just like, if you haven't seen the Guardians of the Galaxy one, just watch it because it's ridiculous.
Yes, it's fantastic. It's so much fun.
And it'll lighten your mood just enough to give you a good chuckle and maybe re-energize you. Because we know this time of the year can be very, very stressful for everybody. It can be. So try to take the time to think of you and take a moment for yourself as well. So I hope everybody has a really great week. We'll see you next week over on Claudia's channel. And don't forget about her shows this week. So until next time, guys, bye-bye.